Hello friends, welcome back to in Geological Knowledge. In the previous discussion we have talked about the 2017 paper of combined geoscientist exam, and in which we have discussed about the geology paper 1 and geology paper 2. So in the continuation of that series, today we will discuss the remaining two papers of economic geology and hydrogeology. Okay, so let's start our discussion. So this will be the geology paper third, or the economic geology portion, that we will discuss first. So section E, there are 10 questions, and the very first question is the distribution of bauxite deposit in India. Okay, so basically you have to write down about the bauxite deposit of India, means in which rock system, or which where they have been formed, or where they are occurring. So okay, so on the basis of the mode of occurrence, the bauxite deposit in Indian scenario, they have been classified into two or three groups. Okay, so first one is the blanket type deposit. So blanket type deposit means which occur at or near the surface, and the interstratified bedded type deposits, so which lie on erosional unconformities, and third one is the pocket type deposits, which occupy the solution or the erosional depressions in limestone and dolomites. So that is, you have to discuss the same thing, that is the distribution of bauxite deposit in India. Okay, so as you know, that is the most of the Indian bauxite deposits, that is of blanket type. That's also very important question for the objective geology, for the objective purpose or the preliminary exams. This question can be important, that is the most of the Indian bauxite deposit wherever it's occurring, so that is blanket type. So as we have discussed, that is the blanket type means the deposits which occur at or near the surface. Okay, and in interstratified bedded deposits, they lie on erosional unconformities, and the pocket type, they occupy the solution or the erosional depressions. So as you can see, the name as signifies, blanket type means, blanket means something lying above someone. Okay, and pocket type means something lying, occupying solution or the erosional depression in the limestone or the dolomites. So these are the three distributions, or the three mode of occurrences in which the bauxite deposit in India is occurring. But Indian bauxite deposit, that is blanket type in most of the cases. So that you have to keep in mind. Okay, and that is occurring on the top of the Deccan trap plateaus. Okay, so that occurrence is again very important. And in India, the total reserve of bauxite, that is about 1900 millions or million tons, or more than that. Okay, so that you have to talk about the distribution, like distribution in Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, in Bihar, Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so that you have to talk about. Second one is mineral resources of sea, or we can see the marine mineral resources, that we have talked in detail. Okay, talking about the marine mineral resources, there we have talked about the resources of sea. Sea part is what are the applications of the magnetic methods of the geophysical exploration. So you have to write down here about the application of the magnetic methods of geophysical exploration. Okay, so how these are the useful, their usefulness, as you have to write down. So magnetic surveys, these are based on the measurement of value of magnetic anomalies. So that you will be knowing, that is, you have to measure the value of magnetic anomaly, and these types of surveys, the vertical component of the Earth's magnetic field, that is measured in simple. Okay, and if you talk about the uses, so magnetic surveys has been widely used for the exploration of oil and magnetic ore bodies, such as the deposits of magnetite, pyrrhotite and ilmenite also. And if there are at place faults, they may bring together the rocks of different magnetic properties. So if there are rocks of different magnetic properties occurring in some place, so now, so in that case the magnetic methods, they can be very important. And the magnetite and the pyrrhotite, these are more abundant in basic igneous rocks. So that is a proven factor. That is the magnetite and pyrrhotite, these are the more abundant igneous, more abundant in the basic igneous rocks than, or in comparison with the acid rocks. So hence the former can be detected by the use of magnetic survey or the magnetic methods of geophysical prospecting. And certain mineral deposits, they which generally contain the magnetic minerals in subordinate amount, just like the magnetite with asbestos and the pyrrhotite with the base metals, they can be also detected by the use of magnetic surveys. So that you have to talk in detail, or just this is a compulsory question. That's a 5 mark question, and you can just write down half page what I have discussed, that you can write down in your own language. Okay, so that will be sufficient, I think. D part is various types of iron ore deposits, their host rock and ore mineral assemblages. Various types of iron ore deposits in India and their host rock, means in which type of rocks they are occurring, and the ore minerals assemblages. Okay, so that all in all you have to write down uh, as the compulsory question type. Okay, so 5 marks question is there, so you have to just write down in brief. 1E, that is the what are the old workings and what is the significance of old working in the mineral prospecting. Old working means, suppose that you are going into the field for the prospecting, ore prospecting or the mineral prospecting, so you have to take the help of the old workings. Old working means you are going into the field in 2020 or 2019, and you have no idea about that particular area. So old workings mean the old papers or the old research paper or the old field work which have been done by the geologist. So that work can be used in the present scenario. Okay, so you will not to do the most of the field work. You can avoid that of type of field work, because that has already been done by the several geologists, so that you can take help of that material, or that help of that report or the research paper or any other report published by the department. So that is the old workings. Okay, and how its significance that we have discussed, that we can take help of that report too for the further discussion or the further prospecting purposes. Okay, 1F is dealing with the explain the synergenetic and epigenetic geochemical anomalies with examples of old deposits hosted by the igneous rocks. So you have to talk about the uh, geochemical anomalies, okay, in terms of the examples of old deposits. So that you have to discuss. 1G is dealing with the calculation method of calorific value from the Goethals formula. So Goethals formula you have to discuss of calorific value calculation. 1H is the primary stratigraphic traps, the importance of in situ stress measurement. In situ means at the formation of that particular rock system, or the formation of that particular rock. When the rock was forming, what was the stress which was acting on the particular rock. So that is mean by the in situ stress measurement. So their importance, what importance they impart, so that you have to write down. 1J is the favorable geological conditions for the toppling failure. What are the favorable conditions, geological conditions for toppling failure to occur. That you have to talk about or write down. Then we move over to section B. So second 2A, that is dealing with the describe in detail about the modes of occurrence, origin, distribution and reserve of mineral used in the glass industries in India. Okay, so their mode of occurrences means where they are occurring, what is the mode of their occurrence, their origin, their distribution pattern and the reserve of the mineral used particularly in the glass industry. So that's a long question and you have to write down the required things what has been asked in the question. 2B is discuss in detail the salient features of National Mineral Policy of India. Salient feature means the important features or the important aspects of the National Mineral Policy that you have to write down. 3A is describe the geological characteristics and the distribution of iron ore deposits in India. Means in which type of geological conditions the iron ore mineral is occurring and their distribution pattern in India, that you have to discuss. So we have talked about this topic in detail. You can watch in the playlist of geology paper 3. 3B question, that is the write about the distribution of some important gemstone in India. So important gemstones, so best example is that is the Panna diamond, okay, and some other gemstones. I don't remember other examples, but you can just write down. Question number C, describe the evolution of mineral legislation system in India. Okay, how the mineral legislation system that has evolved in the Indian scenario. Question number section C, 4A question is dealing with the what are the seismic waves, how are the seismic waves classified and what is their importance, means their seismic waves classification and their significance. So best significance, that is the in the prospecting and the exploration purpose. Okay, so seismic methods that we take into consideration for the prospecting and the exploration purpose, whether it's mineral exploration, groundwater exploration, oil exploration. So that significance you have to write down, and you have also to enumerate the general schemes of the seismic prospecting operation, means how the seismic prospecting operation that takes place, that you have to write down. 4th B question is how do you explore a diamondiferous pipe using geophysical methods. So the exploration of a diamondiferous pipe using geophysical methods, that you have to write down. 5A is explain the genesis of stratiform chromite deposit in ultramafic rocks. Genesis means how they form the stratiform chromite deposit in ultramafic rock. 5B is what are the different types of water that participate in ore forming processes. So currently I remember the hydrothermal water, that is, or hydrothermal solution or hydrothermal water. So that is the one type of water that takes place. The major role of that water is in the ore forming processes. And how are metals from source rock dissolved in the water and subsequently precipitated to form the ore deposits. So their process of formation, that you have to write down. Question number 5C is what are the criteria for identifying primary fluid inclusion in minerals and what is the relationship between the degree of fill and the density of fluid inclusion. Okay. Section D is 6A question is what are the scope and objectives of the detailed exploration stage of a mineral exploration program, and why is exploratory mining carried out. So their scope and objectives of the detailed exploratory stage of the mineral exploration, that you have to write down. And that why means what is the significance of exploratory mining carried out, why we carry out that uh, exploratory mining, that you have also to write down. 6b is you have to explain various methods of identifying the geochemical anomalies based on the concentration of one indicator element in samples analyzed during the geochemical exploration, that you have to explain in detail. 7a is rock ore association is an important criteria in selection of area for the mineral prospecting. You have to explain with the examples, means what is the relationship between the rock and the particular ore. So their association, that is an important criteria in selection of an area for the mineral prospecting, that you have to write down. 7b is explain what are the criteria by which an indicator or the pathfinder element that is chosen for the geochemical exploration program. So that you have to write down about there the criteria which are generally used for the indicator or the pathfinder elements for the geochemical exploration program. Okay. And C question is, that is the numerical here. So a copper mineralized quartz vein that is exposed over a strike length of 120 meter. So 5 trenches which have been made across the width of the vein at uniform interval of 30 meter. So that interval that has been given here 30 meter, and the width of the quartz vein in these trench are, and as use of the copper in the sample of the quartz vein, they have collectively from the each trench they have been given below. So trench number 1 2 3 5 given their width, successive respective width, and the SA value of copper in weight percentage that you have been given. So you have to calculate the average grade of the copper in the quartz vein. Okay, that is the right. Section E is question number 8a. What are the general avenues for the petroleum occurrences? Means general avenues for the occurrence of the petroleum reserve, and what write an account of the origin and the classification of reservoir rocks. Means how the origin of reservoir takes place and their classification also. 8b is describe various geological and geophysical techniques for the exploration of natural hydrocarbons, that you have to write down the geological and geophysical both methods or the techniques. 9a is write an account on the geology and evolution of the Krishna Godavari basin. Okay, so we have already talked, that is the sedimentary basins, that is very important from this unit. Means for this unit it's very important, and for the sedimentology unit where you have to, there is a topic like petroliferous basins of India or the sedimentary basins of India. So in that perspective that is also important. Okay, so that you have to write down particularly the geology and the evolution of Krishna Godavari basin. What are their geological features, okay, and their evolution, in what stages or in which time the evolution, or in which stages as well the evolution of the Krishna Godavari or KG basin has taken place. So that, so it's a 10 marks question, so I have to write down accordingly, and better will be to write down in points. Okay, so that will be a best option. 9b is describe the ultimate analysis of coal and its application. So in coal petrology we have repeatedly been discussing the 2-3 topics that is the important from the exam point of view, and you will see the questions from this area in each and every year. So better will be to grasp, to just assimilate that topic. 9c is what are the chief primary ore minerals of uranium. So chief primary ore minerals of uranium. So currently I remember one, that is pitch blende, okay, or it's known as uraninite. So I think pitch blende, that is the main mineral, ore mineral from which the uranium is being extracted. But there are other minerals also, I don't remember the exact names of them. You can just have a look at that and you will write down. And you have to also write down the write an account on the distribution of uranium deposits in India. So that we have discussed in detail. So in the geology paper 3 playlist of the channel, you can just watch that video. So in which we have to talk about the Seer zone, the Singhbhum uranium province, the Mahadek uranium province, and the Kadapa uranium province. Okay, so that we have to talk about. Okay. Rock mass slope. Okay, so the techniques which are used to stabilize the jointed rock mass slope. So that you have to write down. Question number 10b is, explain the various risks which are associated with the spent fuel disposal sites. Means where the fuel that has been spent fuel disposal sites. Okay, so where the fuel has been disposed, or the exploratory processes of petroleum reserve that have been taken place. So what are the various risks which are associated with that site? So that you have to explain, and describe the rock engineering parameters which need to be addressed for the long term safety and stability of that area. Okay, or the long term safety and stability of that site. So that you have to explain in detail. 11a is define drillability of a rock. What is the drillability of a rock, and how is rock drillability index that is used for the estimation of drill bit life? Okay, so how the drill bit index or the drillability index that is used for the estimation of life of a drill bit, that you have to write down. Question number 11b, explain the importance of the engineering geological risks management in tunneling. What are the important engineering geological risks which are risk management which are associated with tunneling, that you have to write down. You have to also write down how explain about the how to minimize the risk in the seismically active zones. Okay, so that you have to describe or just explain. 11c is, what are the different scientific approaches to select a suitable aggregate for the construction work? Suitable aggregate means for the construction works, what are the suitable aggregate means, that is there what are the different scientific approaches to select suitable aggregate or the particles, okay, or the rock material especially. Okay, so what should be its strength, what should be its compressive strength, and what should be its durability, means how durable they are, whether they are faulted, folded, or jointed. Okay, so that you have to talk about the scientific. Now we come back to the hydrogeology section or hydrogeology paper. So firstly there are 8 compulsory questions. First one is the specific yield and specific retention, measure hydrogeomorphic features of arid regions, the spectral resolution in the remote sensing, principle of resistivity survey, stable isotopes in the hydrogeology, Geiben-Herzberg relationship, rooftop rainwater harvesting, and applications of the Darcy's law. So these are simple questions, not very tough, like the primary resistivity survey that we have to write down. It's very easy and very important. So the stable isotope in hydrogeology. So there are stable and the radiogenic isotopes, and you have to write down about only the stable isotopes. And the Geiben-Herzberg relationship of the saltwater intrusion, that you have to write. So it's very easy questions related to the compulsory part of hydrogeology. Now the question number 2a. So diagrammatically you have to describe the occurrence of groundwater in the zones of aeration and the zone of saturation. So with the help of the diagram you have to describe the occurrences of the groundwater in these two zones. Okay, demarcating the water table. So water table, that you have to also show in that diagram, and add a note on the hydrographs. Question number 2b is schematically describe the hydrological cycle and discuss about the water balance equation. So you have to describe the hydrological cycle and also discuss about the water balance equation. Question number 2c is you have to write short notes on the following: the porosity and permeability of an aquifer, meteoric water and the magmatic water, hydrostratigraphic units. So quite easy questions or the short notes you can just write down. 3a is define transmissivity, what is transmissivity and storage coefficient, and discuss how they are determined. Okay, so transmissivity and storage coefficient, their definition and how they are how they are determined. 3b is the differentiate between the drainage basins and the groundwater basin. Okay, so drainage basin and the groundwater basin, and give an example, give an account of the major hydrological features of the hard rock terrains in India. The major hydrological features of hard rock terrains in India, that we have to write down. Question number 3c is describe the occurrence of the groundwater in Indo-Gangetic alluvial province. So there are provinces, the groundwater provinces in India, that we have talked in detail, which we have talked about the Himalayan groundwater provinces, the Indo-Gangetic plain groundwater provinces, okay, the Deccan Trap provinces, the southern Deccan Trap provinces, southern hydrogeological provinces. So that we have talked about, and you can just watch that video in the playlist of hydrogeology of the channel. That's very informative, and we've talked in detail of all the all that questions related to your exam point of view. 4a is distinguish between the ground surface contour and the water table contour. Means how you can differentiate between the ground surface contour and the water table contour. Explain how the water table contour maps, they are prepared, and states its uses. And 4a second question, that is the numerical given here. Water levels of 3 wells, they are given below. You have to find out the flow direction. Okay, so 3 wells, W1, W2 and W3, they have been given, and you have to find about the direction of groundwater flow. 4th B, explain the laboratory methods of the determining the permeability of fine grained soil. Okay, so laboratory method of determining the permeability of fine grained soil, that you have to write down. 4C is during a falling head permeability test of a soil sample of a 10 cm diameter and 20 cm length, the head in the stand pipe of 2 cm diameter that dropped from 50 cm to 25 cm in 2 minutes, determine the permeability of the sample.
Okay, so the laboratory method of determining the permeability of fine grained soil, that's the question in theory, fourth B, and the same question is given in the example, sorry, numerical type. Okay, so the formula that you will write in the laboratory method of determining the permeability of fine grained soil, that will be used for the solution or for solving the numerical given in the 4C. Okay, and that is given in the falling head parameter of the permeability, so that you have to write down. Fifth is explain the nature of the groundwater conditions in the shallow open wells in alluvial soil. Means what is the nature of the groundwater conditions, especially in the shallow open well in alluvial soil, and define critical depression head, safe working head, and the maximum safe yield, that you have to describe. Fifth B is explain how safe yield and specific capacity of the shallow open wells they are determined. Okay. And 5C, a well 3 meter diameter have a normal water level of 3 meter BGL. Okay. By pumping, the water level is depressed to 9 meter BGL, and in time interval of 4 hours the water level rises by 4.5 meter. You have to determine the specific yield of the well. And what is the specific yield of the well if the working depression that held at 3.5 meter? So that numerical you have to solve. Okay. Question number 6A is explain how the hydrogeomorphic map that is prepared and how it's used in the delineation or delineating the groundwater potential zones. So their explanation of the hydrogeomorphic map, their preparation, and how it's used in the delineating of the groundwater potential zones. 6B is you have to discuss the seismic refraction method and prospecting. Seismic refraction method of prospecting and how it's useful in groundwater exploration, that you have to write down. 6C is discuss the different methods of interpretation of the resistivity data with special reference to the curve matching technique. So different methods of interpretation of resistivity data and the curve matching technique, especially, that you have to explain in detail. 7A, write the what are the methods of construction of tube wells? So methods of the construction of tube wells, that is the question, and describe the cable tool method for drilling the tube wells. So that you have to write. 7A is what are the well development procedure followed in the completion of a well for optimum yield, and you have to discuss also how the yield of a well that is determined, so that you have to write down. Question number 7C is what are the well logging techniques and how are they useful? Okay. Question number 8, you have to write down the 8A, you have to write down the short notes on the following. TDS, that is total dissolved solids, the total hardness salt index, sodium absorption ratio, and the sodium percentage. So quite easy quite easy short notes have been asked to write down. Then these are 3 marks each. Okay, so you have to write it in accordingly at the need of the question. And 5B is what you have to discuss. So stiff diagram, pi diagram, and the Piper diagram, so that you have to discuss. Question number 8C is explain freshwater saline water interface in coastal area. The interface, explain the freshwater and saline water interface in a coastal area, and you have to discuss the precautionary measures to control the salt water intrusion in the coastal areas. So that you have to write. And question number 9 is discuss the problem of arsenic contamination and associated health hazards in our country. Okay, so the problem of arsenic contamination in association with the health hazard in our country. So that we have to discuss. Comment on the remedial measures which can be taken for the controlling the arsenic contamination. Okay, that we have to talk about. So arsenic contamination, that is very high in the West Bengal state. Okay, so in other states the level is very high, but the condition is very poor in case of West Bengal, as I have read somewhere in that particular book. Okay, so that we have to write down. Question number 9b is elaborate or on the idea of conjunctive use of the surface and the groundwater and its benefits. So elaborate the conjunctive idea of the conjunctive use of surface and the groundwater waters and its benefits also. Question number 9c, you have to write short note on the following: the groundwater legislation, water table logging or water logging, and the managed aquifer recharge. Okay, so that we have to discuss in detail. So this was our discussion about the 2017 paper, and 1 year paper, that is 2016, that is also remaining. So I think if we discuss 4 years paper of 19, 18, 17 and 16, then it will be very helpful for one to understand what I have told already, that is the pattern of the question paper, the level of the question paper, and how you have to manage the time ultimately. Okay, so that will be our last video, that is the 2016 paper that we will discuss. And if you will want more videos on the previous year question paper, so we will deal the 2014-15 question paper also, okay, as per your requirement. So we will meet in the next video, that will be the 2016 paper of geology paper 1 and geology paper 2. Okay, till then.